Coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking sharp. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
Not only does he look the part, he plays it as well. Tall, prototypical-looking pocket passer with better athletic ability than what people think. Gets outside of the pocket and makes big plays downfield.
Now a play fake here on first down. The connection here with Nelson Agholor. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Wentz now on first down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it's second down. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. On the defensive side of the ball, here are the starters for Detroit. They come into play number 12 in the NFL against the run.
And that play right there shows exactly why they're so good against the run. Held the line of scrimmage, held the point of attack, and stuffed him for no gain.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And out will come the leader of this offense. And that, of course, is their signal caller.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, We're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there. Second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here we go now.
They'll set up to throw. And this one is incomplete. For the Eagles, a look now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball against the pass. Just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh, yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Taken in at the 22. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 25 carries, 99 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get the play action and throw the ball deep later on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun now for Wentz. Drops it off to Ajayi. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Lions will take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Now let's go.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So we've played 1 quarter here on a Monday night. 0-0 our score. We're back to the Motor City after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On play action, they'll throw. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the...
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he's into the clear. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask a ride. They'll tell you.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Looking to throw. He sets to fire deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And out now come the Eagles. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Hurts over the middle. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. On second down, here's Wentz. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Wentz now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Wentz to throw again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Lamar Jackson 3 touchdown passes as his guys bounce back from the defeat on opening weekend. From there, we're off to check out another game. And it was the visiting San Francisco 49ers that come in and get the victory. Jimmy Garoppolo, 3 touchdown passes as his guys move to 2-0 on the young season. Finally, let's get over to Carson, see what's happening with the Chargers at home at the StubHub Center. And things didn't go so well as it was the visiting Raiders who come in and grab the victory. Derrick Henry, a touchdown run in the victory. In our game, it's been Carson Wentz with a strong first half. His guys have the lead as we get you back up to Ford Field in Detroit and hand it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A good pickup there, 22.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
And there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, line it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Set, 3-19.
Now a handoff looking right. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered.
I know one thing. The team that had the ball and was driving, they're going to feel horrible. But the team that was on defense, I think we got to give them a little bit of credit, able to hang in there and force a key turnover.
In the red zone, though, had a chance to tie it and an opportunity missed. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now wins. And it's incomplete. Ricky Seals-Jones, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. The Eagles send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. Fielded at the 33. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Set. Green 39.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw now on first down. The 20. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A very solid gain of 27. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play out of while you've got them rocked on their heels.
This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%. And it's 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, You better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. He wipes out the penalty yardage with a good run to get it back to 2nd and 7. Now Wentz on the bootleg. Completes it to Ajayi. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Now Wentz. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
They're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Back to throw. Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this is incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. And if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback and then make sure you blanket the field.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. This is taken at about the 14. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Brandon, you got to have some urgency here. You got to get the guys back to the line of scrimmage, but the problem is all 30 yards downfield after that play.
Following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. Now a first throw here in overtime. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Howard. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. And that will line up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and that changes everything here in OT. A good effort there from distance, but he might have needed a little more help from the air conditioning behind him on that one.
It probably would have helped. This is awfully close to getting there. It was right on target, but it winds up being just a little bit short.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now part 1 is done, now part 2. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. What can Wentz do now with his drive? And that's caught left side. Seals Jones with it. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. Stops short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. Working from the gun, Wentz. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Wentz now on first down. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Eagles, it was a great all-around performance.